Imagine this: one day, a signal from the depths of space reaches us, not a random blip but a message, an intelligent response from an alien civilization. How would we react to that? What secrets can this signal unfold? Well, that's what NASA is trying to unravel right now. Can this latest discovery of strange, unexplained signals finally be the answer to an age-old question: is there life out there? Welcome back to Discovery Blaze. Today, we're going deep inside the mysterious signals from space. NASA has been investigating signals that some believe could be alien in origin. Buckle up, because this story will take us from fast radio bursts and deep space anomalies to a timeline of possible alien contact. In its search for extraterrestrial life, NASA isn't breaking new ground. As a matter of fact, it reaches back decades. You may recall that in the late 1970s, Voyager spacecraft launched, both carrying a golden record, a cosmic message in a bottle, which was supposed to introduce humanity to any aliens who might find it someday. These records carried sounds, music, and even greetings in 55 different languages. The thing is, we haven't just been sending messages into space, we've been listening, too. For years, radio telescopes have scoured the universe, hoping to catch a glimpse of something extraordinary. From the monumental Arecibo Observatory efforts of the 20th century to complex networks of radio astronomy today, the scientific world has been watching space with care for that anomalous signal. And just recently, something quite amazing happened. In 2007, astronomers made an astonishing discovery of fast radio bursts, or FRBs, short flashes of incredibly powerful radio energy emanating from elsewhere in the galaxy. These bursts last only a few milliseconds but contain as much energy as the Sun produces in an entire day. To begin with, these FRBs were so very rare and short that the scientists were skeptical about where they come from. For years, there was a debate among scientists: were these signals a product of nature or something else, something that may, in fact, be intelligent? Then, in 2020, it only got weirder. For the first time, an FRB had been spotted emanating from within our own galaxy. It hailed from a magnetar, a kind of neutron star. The finding shed some light on FRBs but left many questions. Were all of these signals natural, or did a few of them come from a source way in advance of what we can imagine? This brings us to the heart of today's mystery. NASA has been studying these unexplained radio signals that emanate from deep space for years. The Deep Space Network, a series of giant radio antennas located around the world, has been tracking these signals, some of which seem peculiar. One of the most interesting was the evidence of signals that NASA picked up, which apparently were emanating from a location near Proxima Centauri, Earth's closest stellar neighbor. Though initial research tended to point toward an all-natural phenomenon, the timing and pattern of the signals led some scientists to speculate: might they be some type of communication? At this point, no one can say for sure. But the notion that these signals are not just random radio noise, well, that keeps scientists both excited and cautious. Are we picking up the interstellar equivalent of static, or is this something far more intentional? The space agency hasn't just been a passive observer in that search. Over the decades, NASA has also sent its own signals into deep space, hoping that an advanced alien civilization would reply one day. Some of those signals have already reached nearby star systems, and well, that's when things start to get really interesting. By 2029, NASA's signals will have reached 4 of the closest star systems, including Alpha Centauri. If some extraterrestrial life forms picked up these signals and decided to respond, we could get an answer in as little as a few years. Can you imagine that a message from an alien civilization, maybe in our lifetime? But what if we did get a reply? For decades now, NASA and other space agencies, not to mention SETI, have prepared for that eventuality. So much so, in fact, that there is even a procedure for how the world should act in the event of an alien signal. It would have to be a confirmed signal ruled out as interference or a natural phenomenon. Once that were verified, the world scientific community would announce such a thing, and discussions would then ensue about how to respond. But it's not simply a scientific issue. It raises very profound philosophical, political, even religious questions. How would humanity handle such a revolutionary event? But the prospect of alien contact is at once exhilarating and fraught with risks. Think about it. What if the civilization that dispatched the message was far more advanced, and perhaps menacing than we can even fathom? The late physicist Stephen Hawking once warned that to make contact with aliens might be to extend an invitation to meeting a more advanced Columbus, and we all know how that worked out for the Indians. While some are eager to reach out, others argue that it might be safer to stay silent and not attract attention to ourselves until we better understand who or what is out there. Above all, what NASA's work has taught us over the years is how much more there is to learn about the vastness of space, the nature of stars and planets, and even life beyond Earth. With the study of exoplanets within the habitable zones of distant stars and decoding of mysterious signals from space, each new discovery brings us one step closer to answering, arguably, the most profound of all questions: are we alone? And as we stand at the threshold of what may prove to be the next giant leap in the history of human knowledge, this much is certain: whether these signals are manifestations of intelligence or simply some sort of cosmic aberration, the search itself represents one of the most important and insidious missions of our times. But scientists have dealt with noise, regarding signals from space, for decades: random radio waves, cosmic interference, even Earth-based sources. What if among the sea of noise, there was a signal that had a pattern, something so structured it couldn't be random? Precisely this is what NASA's research teams are focusing on. The signals detected over the past few years from deep space have unusual characteristics, with patterns that may suggest they are more than just natural phenomena. One of the primary ways researchers attempt to decide if a signal is intelligent in origin is by examining its structure. Nature doesn't tend to produce regular, repeating patterns in radio frequencies, but intelligent communication might. A repeated signal, sent over and over, could be a basic attempt at contact, like an alien civilization trying to say, "We're here." But let's look at the counterpoint. If the universe is so big, with a high likelihood of billions of habitable planets, then where is everybody? That's the core of the Fermi paradox, the question of why we have not detected any signs of life elsewhere, given the high probability that it should be out there. The paradox becomes even more puzzling when we take into consideration just how far our signals have traveled. Some theories propose self-destruction before being capable of communicating, or distances between stars are too great and communication is almost impossible. What if the real answer is a great deal more chilling? What if civilizations are deliberately avoiding us? Or worse, what if we're the first to emerge? Meanwhile, NASA and other space agencies, like SETI, prepare for the possibility of first contact. Newly designed and more sensitive telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope, extend our capability to detect very dim signals from distant star systems, while technologies like laser communication someday may enable us to send signals across vast distances of space much faster. Meanwhile, on Earth, powerful new listening stations are being built, isolated from interference, to better detect the faintest signals perhaps drowned out by Earth-based noise. It is an international effort which coordinates through countries and scientific disciplines for the instant in which we may finally decode a message from outside this world. If we got an alien signal, it would be nothing as has been shown in the movies. Forget the spaceships landing or aliens speaking fluent English. Any message that might arrive could be encoded in a form so that we have to struggle hard to decipher. The message can be mathematical, abstract, or even visual. The biggest challenge would be to know how to interpret the message. How does one converse with a civilization that has evolved under conditions completely different from your own? So, where does this leave us? We may not yet have all the answers, but NASA's unveiling of these alien-like signals puts into perspective how much we've yet to explore. As our technology advances and our reach extends deeper into the universe, who knows what incredible discoveries await us in the coming years. That being said, thank you for watching.